My wife pushed our daughter off the balcony. The sound of her scream is the only thing that still wakes me at night. It wasn't long, it wasn't sharp, just a single, broken cry, then silence, swallowed by the street below. I didn't see the fall, I only saw the aftermath. A twisted body in the grass, motionless, one shoe hanging from her foot, her favorite pink one with the butterfly clip, my daughter, my only child. And my wife stood above her, clutching the railing like a widow in a tragedy. Tears already glistening in her eyes before the neighbors even came rushing out. "She fell," she whispered, almost rehearsed. "The railings, they were loose. He never fixed them. I told him this would happen." Her voice broke. She turned to the crowd, her grief spilling out, soaking the grass with words that bled blame. I couldn't speak, my throat locked. The world tilted. My wife's hands trembled like porcelain. But I saw it. I saw the way her eyes lingered just a fraction too long on me, not on our broken child. That was the first moment I understood. The truth was already cracking open, and I was already condemned. The police didn't hesitate. I was in handcuffs before the body was even covered. "You hated having a disabled child," she told them, sobbing into the cameras. "He resented her since birth. He refused to accept her. He loosened the railings. He killed her." On national news, she played the role of the grieving mother. They replayed her tears on every channel. A tragic woman, abandoned by a cold, resentful husband. I sat in a holding cell, the echo of her words gnawing at my bones. I loved my daughter. I loved every crooked smile, every struggle, every soft, stubborn heartbeat. But the world believed her lies. She didn't break eye contact at the police station, not once. Her face was a mask of grief, but her eyes were victory. And I knew, this wasn't grief, it was strategy. She had been planning this. From my cell, I began to think differently. I stopped weeping. I stopped begging for them to believe me. Instead, I watched. I listened. My lawyer visited often, whispering promises of appeals, motions, and evidence. "I'll fix everything," he said, his hands tightening on the bars. But I didn't want fixing. I wanted the truth exposed. I started asking questions, small ones, subtle. Why were the railings only recently loosened? Why had my wife been visiting certain men, her support groups? Why did her phone bill spike at strange hours? My lawyer hesitated at first. Then he followed my gaze, saw the calculation in my silence, and understood. He gathered phone records, bank statements, a hidden credit card, a safety deposit box. Weeks passed. I sat in my cell, outwardly broken, inwardly sharpening. The details assembled slowly, piece by piece. An affair, a man she met at therapy, hotel bookings, withdrawals of cash she never explained. And then, darker, searches on her computer. Balcony railings accident liability. How to prove spouse's negligence. She had crafted it perfectly. The narrative, the sympathy, the escape. But she hadn't accounted for me refusing to collapse. The folder landed on the table in the visiting room. Photos, receipts, phone logs, printouts. I stared at them in silence. My lawyer waited, his eyes flicking between me and the pile of evidence. It was all there. The affair, the motive, the careful design of betrayal. When I finally looked up, I felt nothing. No grief, no rage, just a stillness colder than any cell wall. "Bring her in," I whispered. The next time she came to court, dressed in black, milking pity from every camera flash, I asked her one question. Just one. "Did you loosen the railings yourself, or did your boyfriend help you?" Her face broke. Not in grief, in shock. The courtroom gasped. My lawyer slid the folder forward. The judge reached for it, his fingers trembling, his skin pale. And I sat there, silent, watching her drown in the truth. Her sobs weren't grief anymore, they were panic. "He's lying," she screamed. "He's twisting everything. He's the monster, not me." But the documents spoke louder. The bank slips, the hotel receipts, the private messages pulled from her cloud account, each one a confession wrapped in desire and manipulation. The judge turned pale. The jury shifted in their seats. The cameras outside whispered a different story now, not of a grieving mother, but of a black widow weaving lies until her own threads strangled her. I didn't need to shout. I didn't need to accuse. All I did was sit there, calm, silent, unmoved. The power shifted in that silence. Her empire of lies crumbled beneath her own trembling hands. When the verdict came, I didn't celebrate. I didn't even look at her. She wailed as they took her away, pleading, shrieking, trying to reach for me with words that no longer had weight. I stood, adjusted my cuffs, and walked out of the courtroom free. No one touched me. No one spoke. They stepped aside as if I carried something heavier than chains. My daughter was still gone. Nothing would change that. But my wife, she had fallen further than any balcony could take her, and that was enough. I never looked back, because the dead deserve silence, and the guilty deserves only the echo of it.